Hey everybody, Grenton here. My last video that I did of the solo dungeon in the barracks did pretty well, and a lot of you were asking for some build information or some content of me doing this dungeon here, the Kandorys Undercourse, which is the last solo dungeon to my knowledge. I don't think there's another solo dungeon after that. So I'm going to make this video, and again, it's going to be a little bit of a one-take video, so apologies if the quality is a little scuffed, but you guys seem to have really liked the one-take unedited version that I did previously, so same thing here. My gear is obviously quite a bit better since then. I'll just hover over the gear right now. A lot of this is just like holy placeholders until I get better godly items. Courage is not a great stat for us as a melee cleric. Strength is. This shield is actually pretty strong. Strength with melee crit is really good for us. And then this weapon is, again, like I mentioned, a complete placeholder. This ring here is actually something I'll probably keep for a while. Weapon value is also very good for us. Strength, willpower is like honestly really good stats because willpower will increase our heals. Strength obviously increasing our damage. And again, some placeholder stuff. I managed to snipe this pretty cheap. I think the guy sold it to me for like 30-40k. So I just got it because it's a level 25 godly piece. So strength and willpower, again, not too bad. And then 2 more holy pieces. I showed my stats like this last time, and a lot of you wanted to see kind of how it was broken down. So I have 1200 points invested into health. Cleric notoriously doesn't have a very large health pool. You're playing a melee cleric. You don't have very strong heals, so 1200 points into health I feel like is very, very needed. I put 96 points into mana by accident while I was leveling. This is completely raw. I haven't done a respec yet. So when I do a respec, I'll probably do an update video. I invested 190 points into strength to get 200 base strength for certain heavy armor that needs to be worn. As you can see, it says fine emerald, crystal, exquisite mithril, crystal. You can wear all those kinds of armor, but when it comes to like titanium, that requires 300 strength, so you actually can't wear that. I invested some points into agility to bring it up to 75 agility because that is a requisite as well for certain armor. And then willpower I brought up to 100, and the rest I just put points into because it actually improves your fortitude, and your fortitude in PvP just means you take less damage from players. So you want to kind of get it to 400. I only broke 400 with my gear, so there's probably a way to do it a lot more efficiently. Regeneration and meditation, I didn't put anything in. Melee crit, I put a lot. I put 400 points into melee crit because, again, that is your build. You want to crit, and you want to crit often. I didn't put anything into spell. I put some into fire res, and that's purely because I had extra points that I didn't really know what to do with. Obviously, if I respect and I did a more solid build, I might even have more fire res, because the only really things that kill you fast in PvP is a mage casting like ignites and infernos, and in PvE, all the dangerous mechanics are fire. At least from what I've seen. When I go to skills here, I put 50 points into maces. I put 30 points into shields. And again, that's just something that a buddy of mine, who I'll link his video down below, Slug, he did the Jesus build first, which is this build. And I was kind of theory crafting with him a little bit. For skills, pretty simple. Some skills, as you can see, you can't level, like Dark Resolve, Dispel Magic, stuff like that. I've pretty much leveled everything I can level except for heal. If I were to respec, I probably wouldn't level lesser heal because I never use it, right? The heals that I use more often than not is I always have Blessing of Health on, Greater Heal's good, Spark of Light's good. Those are the like only 2 heals that I use outside of Rejuvenation. So pretty much anything else, and obviously Bless Shield is very good. Discipline gives you 10% extra DR. I probably wouldn't have leveled, where is it? Desperate Prayer either, because it's an extra 10%, but it's a lot of skill points. So I probably would have not leveled Desperate Prayer and Lesser Heal. That would have given me more points to kind of spread out here. This dungeon, by the way, to kind of give you a little bit of a precursor before we jump in. To do this dungeon, you need to do the other dungeon, which is here, the barracks. The barrack boss will have a chance to drop, I don't know if it drops every time or it's a chance, but he will drop a depleted key. And then the mobs here in the Hillsfar Dale, where I am right now, will drop a Dale gem. So far, I've only dropped it from the elite mobs here, which are, they have about, I think, 20k health or 15k health. I can't remember. And once you combine those two, you'll make the Undercourse key. Now, if you don't want to do all that, you can just buy the key. People are selling the key for like 50,000 gold right now on the server. So you can just buy the key. I can solo these mobs relatively easily, so I am not buying the key. So you'll just kind of right-click the gem. You'll combine it into an Undercourse key, and you'll be able to make your Undercourse key. Again, you'll farm the barracks key from the Kandorys castle or the forecourt, the PvP zone. You'll then do the solo dungeon, the barracks yourself, kill the last boss. Last boss will drop the depleted key. And then in the Hillsfar Dale, you'll be able to loot the Dale gem, which you can combine to make the Undercourse key. So we're going to get things started. This dungeon is significantly more difficult than the other one. As you can see, there's a lot of 2-packs. These Dishonored Sorcerers actually cast the Greater Flame that the last boss of the previous dungeon casts. So you have to make sure that you interrupt that. We're going to get things started here. And we're going to start things off. I kind of like using my fear a little bit liberally when I'm pulling 2 mobs, because it makes it so, as you can see, I'm not taking damage from this mob. I can just focus on the one I want to kill, and then now he's coming back, and you can see the amount of damage I take when they both are able to stack these bleeds on me. It hurts quite a bit, so kind of want to mix in some heals here. I'm actually going to rip a Desperate Repair. And I actually found out in this dungeon, again, this is my second time doing the dungeon. I did it once just to kind of see if I could do it. And then I was like, okay, I think I can do it. I'll record a video for YouTube. The last boss is not as scary, in my opinion. It's a Minotaur, and he does a Howl of Terror. And if you get out of melee range, he will, he'll just run you down. Like, he'll charge you, and he'll stun you, and he'll do some damage. So moral of the story is you just don't want to get out of melee range, and you want to try to interrupt as many howls as you can. And if you can't interrupt a howl, I think it's probably almost always better to just run out of range and maybe eat the charge instead of getting feared, because I don't know what he does if he fears you, and it's probably pretty scary. So as you can see, since I'm talking, I'm not doing a very good job of keeping my Blessed Shield up or my Rejuve up, and that's kind of a problem. This sorcerer, again, like I said, very important that we interrupt the Greater Flame, or else it'll be pretty rough for us. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my buffs up. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to start hitting them. I'm going to pop a fear, and I'm just going to save my Holy Bolt for Greater Flame, just to make sure that I can interrupt it. Oh, that's Lesser Heal, which means Greater Flame's probably coming up here next. I actually had my smite up for it. And again, this is very dangerous because this mob hurts a lot. And again, if I was doing a better job, I'd have much more HP. But as you can see, I'm 6,100 gear score. And these horrors absolutely destroy me because of this bleed. So I have to be very careful when I'm pulling the horror specifically. I've come to realize that they're the scarier of the 2 mobs in the dungeon. And when you have a double pack of horrors, it's kind of, you want to make sure you're fully topped up, you're ready to go. These horrors, I don't really care to do, to be honest. They have a small chance to drop holy gear, but I have, as you can see, a lot of horrors that I have to deal with. So I decide to kind of skip that pack until I get a bit more gear and I can clear faster. This dungeon is a bit smaller than the other one, which is nice because it obviously takes longer to complete. I'm gonna rip a mana potion here just so I can use some mana to heal myself and then get it back. And again, we're gonna jump in here. I'm gonna pop my damage reduction here for a second, just so I can kind of live through a lot of these bleeds. Having 2 of them stack bleeds on you is very, very rough. 1 horror is like pretty easy to deal with, but when we have 2 mobs, it's definitely a little bit more spicy. I'm gonna cast the Greater Heal here, get my Rejuve and Shield back up, rip a Sparkalite, and then we can kind of just maintain here. I could rip another Desperate Prayer, but I just don't want to. I always like keeping Desperate Prayer for like an oh shit moment, just in case that I overpull or something social aggro's. I don't just instantly die. So that's fine. And again, we'll rip a little food here. And if any of you guys know where to find better food than roasted pork, please let me know, because this food is absolutely abysmal. And let me know in the comments, what kind of class are you playing right now? I actually made a second cleric to play more of a intelligence willpower, like the regular version of how a cleric should be played. Because I haven't been able to find any groups for Atmar's Fall, which is the group dungeon. There's 2 group dungeons, by the way. There's Atmar's Fall, and then the last boss of Atmar's Fall, I believe, drops a key for another dungeon called the Decrepit Tower, which is very, very difficult. I was watching a cleric streamer by the name of Myst XO stream. So if you guys want to check him out on Twitch, it's Myst XO_. Super cool guy. He's almost 8k gear score, so he's quite geared. But this dungeon actually is pretty fun once you kind of get the hang of it. And what I'm going to do is after, so you see I got charged there. The last boss will do something similar. And that's something you just got to be careful of. So again, I'm just going to rip a fear here. And then my wall should be up soon. Actually, I don't even think I'll need to wall here because I'll be able to kill that one mob. And now I'm just 1v1ing, which is fine. And again, you just want to rotate Spark of Life. If you have chance to greater heal, like greater heal, this rend is what hurts the most. Their auto attacks aren't too crazy on this class. And I think, I'm not sure, maybe someone in the chat, excuse me, I think I'm streaming, in the comments can tell me, are you guys able to solo this dungeon too? Is it only like a cleric pally thing? Because my last video, I had a lot of people who were mentioning that they were unable to solo the barracks on anything that wasn't, you know, a pally or a cleric. Even will and intelligence clerics that I speak to say that they have hard time soloing. So I'm just kind of curious on that. I'm gonna rip another mana potion here. We're gonna have a double pull over here, and I'm just gonna pop my wall again. And again, gotta make sure this is up. So the reason I'm popping my wall here and not just using fear is because there's an undead horror very, very close, and I don't want to accidentally pull that. If I pull that, I'm almost assuredly wiping. So I'd rather just kind of take a bit more damage. And if I get under like 10% or 15%, I'll usually rip my Desperate Repair. Since Desperate Repair is only a 2-minute cooldown, it's actually not terrible to rip. So let's probably just rip it here. Now I'm all chilling, back to, you know, almost full health. And to my knowledge, the only classes that can do something like that is Paladin and Cleric, which probably makes soloing here a lot easier for us. Take the mana pot. This one here I could just kind of 1v1, doesn't matter. And then this is why I mentioned in the last video having 100 lockpicking is very important, because this strong box up at the top actually requires 100 lockpicking, and I believe in Atmar's Fall as well as the Decrepit Tower, you need 100 lockpicking as well. So if you're planning on soloing, you need 100 lockpicking. If you're not planning on soloing ever and you're just planning on, oh, there we go, a nice intelligence, courage, a holy piece, pick that up. If you're not planning on soloing ever and just being, you know, a group player, then you just need someone you trust in your group with the lockpicking, and that's about it. So let's go see what we get in this chest, see if there's anything good. Unfortunate, nothing really good. We'll take these for vendor stuff. We'll leave the rough amethyst, and we're gonna head down to the boss. Again, I don't know if I was lucky last time or if the boss was just easier than I thought he was. So I'm actually gonna wait here a bit for some health, because you can't see him right now, but if I walk here, there's actually a sorcerer as well that we have to deal with, and there's a horror right down here as well. So this is again a kind of spicy spot in the dungeon. So I'm actually probably going to wait here 30 seconds for my Desperate Prayer to come up, just so I can have a little bit more for that. And I saw it was actually cool. The developer for Dreadmyst was actually in the streamer that I was mentioning's chat when they were attempting the Decrepit Tower, and he was kind of giving them a little tip during the dungeon, which is kind of cool. So it's awesome to see that even though he's been blasting, try to keep servers stabilized, he has a little bit of free time to go check out some content creators. So we're gonna hop in here and we're gonna get things started. I'm gonna use my buff. I'm gonna just walk past him and just absolutely start on this. I'm gonna pop my wall as well. Having one horror and one mage isn't the end of the world. Again, you want to make sure you keep something up for the Greater Flame to interrupt it, which is, I'll just use Holy Bolt here to interrupt it. And there we go. Nice and easy. Maybe I respected that pull a little too much. Or maybe this horror was just like a little bit out of range and wasn't stacking bleeds on me. Maybe I just bugged it unintentionally, but... Give myself a little heal here again. As you can see, my heals don't really do much. There's probably a world where I can optimize this build to have good heals and good damage, but I haven't really put the time into trying to figure that out. There's another chest down here. This is just a 50 lockpicking chest, so I'm gonna go obviously fight this horror. Gives me time to get my wall cooldown back up as well, because having that for the boss is obviously nice. And we'll just use a heal. And again, once you learn, not learn, but once you get in the habit of keeping your Blessed Shield and your Rejuve up, soloing on this class is like even more easy than it, than it's supposed to be. So Emerald, probably can trade that for a Strength Gem. And that's a lot of the thing with Cleric, is also learning what you can purge, what you can't purge is super important. So we're up at the boss now. He has 24,500 health. As I said, he's a Minotaur. Last time he didn't War Stomp, so I don't know if he doesn't have that on his ability table. But he does Howl of Terror often. So I was just kind of rotating my Satanic Madness, my Holy Bolt, and my Smite to try to interrupt it. I could also Dark Resolve as a Cleric. I could just make myself immune to a fear. So if there's like an oh shit moment and I don't have something up, I can always just Dark Resolve. As always, we're going to pop our scrolls. And we're going to re-bless, get our buffs up, pull the boss. I'm actually going to wall early here. And I'm just going to hit him with that real quick. And as you can see, he's not doing a ton of damage, and it's mostly just Howl. I'm going to immune this Howl. I didn't have anything up. And again, I need it. I'm going to stun him here. There's Howl. There's the Bolt. So I won't have anything for this next Howl. I'm going to walk out of range and then and then he's going to charge me. This is where you got to be careful. That's what I usually save my Desperate Prayer for. As you can see now, I'm like very healthy. He's going to go into his Howl here probably soon. Oh, he's just going to hamstring and die. Okay. So last time I did this, he actually dropped a godly chess piece that I sold. Now we got a Willpower and Intelligence necklace, which can be amazing for my alt Cleric when I hit level 25 on her. But that's essentially the dungeon, Kandorys Undercourse. I find that contrary to the barracks, the boss is much easier in this one, as you can see. His hamstring ability is what hurts, but since that's a physical ability, not magic, as you can see, I could take it pretty easily. I didn't really use a lot. I didn't really have an optimal usage of my Blessed Shield and my Rejuve, so I probably would have been able to take even less damage. And like we saw, the mobs are kind of what's scary. The undead horrors stacking the bleeds on you, the Wrens, are kind of a little sus sometimes. So when you're double pulling the horrors, be careful. Sorcerers just interrupt the Greater Flame, and then the boss, as you can see, if you interrupt the Howl of Terror, pretty free. If you don't have a lot of interrupts, you could probably just do the same thing where you tank the boss here, and then when he casts Howl, you go like this, and you just go back and forth where you try to LOS him. Or if you could just tank the charge, you can just range the Howl of Terror, let him charge you. He'll charge and do hamstring almost always. For me, it does about 30% of my health, so you just got to be careful with that. And then once you're done the dungeon, you walk up here to these stairs. You come out, and you come out right at the Decrepit Tower / Atmar's Fall, the dungeon. So you have the Decrepit Tower here, which you require the tower key. You have the Atmar's Fall book here, which if you interact with it, you'll get the Commander's Ledger. And then you have the Lower Garrison, which is the Atmar's Fall quote-unquote dungeon. This is the first dungeon. It's Melkon. And then the second dungeon is Decrepit Tower. I believe Melkon is in the first dungeon, if I'm not mistaken. But thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for watching the video. Let me know if you guys need some more information about the Cleric build. We had a lot of people join my Discord last time, so I appreciate you guys joining Discord. I'll be live most likely later today on twitch.tv/Grenton. I'm live almost every day. Usually Thursdays and Sundays are my days off, so I can spend time with the girlfriend and be a functioning adult. But if there's anything else you want to see, please let me know. And thank you all for watching. And as always, pet your family and kiss your pets.